day, 7.2 million students walk into classrooms throughout the United States. These classrooms generally look the same. 30 students sit in rows of desks, taking notes in their notebooks, while the teacher stands at a whiteboard teaching a lesson. Regardless of ability level, each student receives the exact same information at the exact same pace. As Ms. Jackson presents this same material, the students respond differently. Tommy gets it, while Allison is bored, and Maria is lost. At the end of the day, these same students head home. While at home, they sit at the kitchen table doing their homework and trying to remember what Ms. Jackson said. Students like Tommy make it most of the way through the homework, while others, like Allison, find it easy and fly through it. At the same time, students like Maria get frustrated and need some extra help. Ms. Jackson recognizes that students have different needs and would love to work individually with each student, but this requires time and resources that her school does not have. One solution to this problem is the flipped classroom. Here's what it looks like. While at home, students sit in their rooms watching videos of the lesson that Ms. Jackson assigned. Tommy is still able to work at his normal pace. Allison is no longer bored because now she can use this new technology to fast forward through the easy material. And Maria is no longer frustrated because she can review the material that she didn't understand by pausing and rewinding. When she really gets stuck, she can get help from her classmates. New technology platforms like Moodle and Edmodo make it easy for her to chat online with her classmates. Just as the homework is different, the classroom is different as well. Instead of standing in front of the room speaking, Ms. Jackson walks around the room. She checks in with Tommy as he works collaboratively with some students. She pushes Allison further with some more challenging work. And she helps Maria with the pieces that she still doesn't quite get. In the traditional model, the teacher stands between the students and the knowledge. But with the flipped classroom model, the students have direct access to the knowledge, and the teacher serves as a coach, mentor, and guide, helping the students access this knowledge. The flipped classroom leverages technology in a way that lets both Ms. Jackson and the students make the most of their time and efforts.
Wow, this is an amazing teaching tool.
And that's when their wheels started turning.
What if we did that all the time?
And now they do.
Instead of sitting and wasting 45 minutes listening to a teacher yap, they're going to have more time to work one-on-one with the teacher, work through problems, do a lot more hands-on activities, a lot more lab activities.
Allowing students to do the brunt of their work in class has worked wonders for their students.
They used to go home and they would get stuck, they would call their friend, which is okay, they would cheat, or they would just give up on it.
Student scores have shot up this year, leading teachers to believe this is the way of the future.
One of the things about the flip that we've enjoyed is the sense of ownership that students have and the fact that they can work at their own pace. And they're really specific questions that we're now seeing our students ask.
So the engagement has definitely gone up in the classroom, and I would say both at home and at school. I think that the majority of the students enjoy watching the videos, and so then they are more apt to do that. If they don't watch the videos at home, we do have eye touches in the classroom with the videos on them, so then they need to spend the first 10 to 15 minutes of class going ahead and catching up with the rest of the class. Catching up, and it does impact their peers in some ways, and so there's been a little bit of pressure or some accountability.
The classroom helped me because I can watch the videos, and if I have a question I can ask the teacher, and when I need to study I can rewatch the videos so I can get it. And I like it because we can watch it on like our iPod or iPhone. And now I enjoy math more because of the flipped classroom.
And plus you get help with your homework at school because not all parents know what the curriculum of the school is.
When I first heard about Khan Academy, the most appealing point of it was that it was going to reach all students where they are and to meet them where they are. When I heard that they can work at their own pace and that it would free me up to be able to work with individual groups of students, I just jumped on it. And I know you always take a chance with something unknown, but I felt that it was a chance worth taking, and so I just decided to go for it, because you never know unless you try. Even though I don't get to visit each group, I trust them and I know that they're really engaged, and then I can always look back at the dashboard to see what they've done and accomplished. And so it works out really nicely.
Clearly, there are going to be challenges to this model. One is, how do we directly instruct without being in the room with the students? Is it going to be something reading-based? And I think English teachers have been doing this for years. Hey kids, read chapter 5 of To Kill a Mockingbird. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Well, what if they don't read? What if your big assessment is discussion? They didn't read, they can't discuss? That's a bummer. How else could we do it? Well, if it's internet-based, how do we make these things? How do we record a podcast? How do we make a screencast, which is what you're seeing now, where I'm just recording my screen? That takes some different technological things than most people have in their classroom computer. Also, how do kids access these lessons? While many kids do have access to the internet at home, many don't. Many have spotty connections. So we can't completely say, you know what, our entire curriculum is on YouTube, kids. Go get it. There's a lot of kids that don't have regular access to that, so we can't rely on that. That is not equitable, and that becomes an issue. Additionally, these podcasts, screencasts, are time intensive. While this may be 15 minutes long, it's probably going to take me 30 minutes to record it, recording over all of the screw-ups I make, all the hacking and coughing and ums and all the verbal pauses I make, and then I need to edit again. So that's going to take me probably at least an hour and a half after the recording is done to make 15 minutes. I don't know about you, but as a teacher, I work a lot of hours. I don't have a lot of time to sit and play with the video. So how much time do you want to spend on something like this? That's another consideration. Obviously, what if they don't do it? We've talked about that. It happens in any class. What if they don't do this one element for a large project? We see the big snowball effect. They often don't, but we do. And now if you're putting direct instruction out there, if they're not getting it, that provides a pretty big gap, because now they're not missing homework practice, they're missing direct instruction.
Some challenges faced with the use of Khan Academy are, for starters, students range from grade 3 and above are more suitable to this type of learning, since the primary grades have a slower learning curve. Students need to be more independent learners to understand the real use of this type of learning. At a pilot school that's integrated Khan Academy, a teacher expresses her challenge. Quote, "The problem here is that sometimes students rush through the exercise without learning it and instead just wanting to get the badge. The creators of Khan Academy added badges to make it more interesting and motivating, not to make you ignore everything else and just aim for the badge. This idea of badges promotes student learning for more than the badge rather than their own desire. Also, how can we tell if students really understand the concept, since they might just have good memorization skills and store the information in their short-term memory, and once completed the test, the information has disappeared?"